Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of FSU Weather. It's the last Wednesday of the semester. Right now, we have our live look at Doak. It's pretty sunny out, just a couple of mild clouds. I think it was around 73 degrees when I checked. And on our live radar, we aren't seeing too much right now. Nothing to worry about in the way of rain or precipitation of any kind. We are looking at some warm temperatures overnight here in Tallahassee. It's going to be 63, partly cloudy, so you shouldn't have to worry about layering up at all. It should stay pretty nice. As we look at tomorrow, it is going to get pretty toasty. We're going to get up to 86 degrees, but hopefully the partly cloudy part will give you some relief from the heat that we are getting into. And for our headlines, we just want to say thank you to FSU PD and Tallahassee PD. I hope everyone is doing a little bit better every day as we get on. And today we're also going to be doing the clipboard pass to our next team leader, and we are saying adieu to this last Wednesday show of the semester.
Good evening, FSU. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. And we just wanted to start out the show by first thanking all of the first responders and everyone that helped with the events that happened this past Thursday. Just a huge thank you, and just a great time to realize that life is precious, and just go home, hug your family members, and it's something good to just remember.
Yeah, take the time to talk to your loved ones and make sure to reach out to people, as it's always a good idea to connect with other people, make sure they're doing all right, as everyone is going through something different no matter the circumstances of life. And we're just so glad that we had great emergency response overall, and there weren't too many hurt, but we are still hurting here with the loss of life. And so please reach out to those loved ones and make sure you're doing well as talk to people if you need it. There is help out there for those of you who do need it.
And you can always reach out to us. We'd love to help in any way we possibly can. And at this time, we'd just like to take a moment of silence for those affected. And with that, we're going to transfer over to Noah for the rest of the weather.
Hello everyone, I'm Noah Dornelli, and yes, you definitely have to reach out to your loved ones, reach out to everyone, make sure everyone's okay after this past tragedy that struck last week. But in milder news, it's much warmer out with temperatures all across the 80s, upper 80s in Valdosta and Live Oak, 88 in Tallahassee, and pretty warm out all across with the 80s. With the dew points, it is definitely feeling very muggy out with those high temperatures in the mid-80s, 59 in Tallahassee, 62 in Valdosta, and it's very muggy out, so make sure you have your AC on, be in the shade, and have a good time. With that said, the live radar clear as day with a little pop-up up north on the Georgia border, but not much to worry about. And heading into tonight, light relief, not much of it, 65 in Tallahassee, 66 in Madison, but a little warmer closer to the coast, but all around the mid-60s all across the area. And heading into tomorrow, there might be a couple of clouds popping along the area, maybe a few showers up in northern Georgia, but not too much to worry about weather-wise. And heading along tomorrow, temperatures are still going to be right around average, a little above average, with 80s, mid-80s up closer to the western side of the area in Valdosta and Madison, but cooler across the coast, so definitely nice beach weather if you don't have any classes or finals to worry about. And rain chances, not much going on, still very low, pretty consistent with 10%, but slightly higher chances along Sunday and Monday, but not much to worry about. You don't have to worry about your umbrellas. And heading into the week ahead, as the semester closes, so the temperatures increase with 90s, 93 on Sunday, and heading all across even to next week with lows just up in the upper 60s, so not much nighttime relief, but plenty of sun and fun. So if you like eternal sunshine, it's the perfect time to get outside. And moving along into...
So what we've got is a little bit of the temperatures for the rest of the week, but right here we have beautiful cams of all the different locations in Florida. Great all around, very sunny, very nice and warm. We're sitting in the 80 range all the way down from 81 down up to Orlando, sitting at 84. Great conditions, warm conditions. We're finally seeing that summer heat, and Right now, Tallahassee is sitting at a good 88. We're the warmest on the board right now, so yay to us. With our coastal temperatures at 81, 82, definitely feeling that sea breeze, which is a good relief, and we should definitely take that and sit with it as the rest of the summer kind of comes up. Now for Miami, we're sitting at 82, rising up to 84 by the end of the weekend. Sunny conditions all around. That's going to be a common theme throughout the rest of this weekend with all of Florida. We're really getting our Sunshine State title great and sitting awesome right now. Now for Fort Myers, it's going to be the warmest. We're sitting at 91. Great, also super sunny, great conditions if you wanted to go back home, if you don't have any finals. All around, great beach day, great time to go. Now, same with Tampa, common theme throughout the rest of the week. So sitting at 92, and then kind of staying consistent, maybe a degree or two below, but also super duper sunny. Now, for my hometown, it's Orlando, Florida. It's sitting at 89, all the way up to 91. It's going to be rising a little bit as the day goes on. Super duper sunny, but with those lows sitting at 66, 67. Not super cold, not enough to like bring a jacket, but just something to stay aware of. It's not going to be super duper warm that whole time. Now Jacksonville, it's going to be warmer, 84 to 86, and then consistently rising as the weekend goes on. So if you had any of those beach plans that you wanted to keep, I would definitely do that. It's going to be nice and warm as finals week approaches. Now Pensacola, also same thing, warm, rising up to 85 with those cooler temperatures throughout the night. It's going to be quite nice. Now for future, what we have on the radar, not a lot, a couple clouds kind of coming through the area, but nothing too severe coming through. It's going to be nice and light, just some clouds to block that heavy UV. Now tonight, those conditions, they are a little bit warmer along the coast compared to what we saw a little bit cooler during the day, but that's just because of that temperance with the ocean that it brings. But Tallahassee tonight sitting at 65, Pensacola at 67. Now for tomorrow, the warmer conditions, we're going to be sitting at 86. Look at all that red on that board. Tampa and Fort Myers down to 92. Now what we're going to be doing is looking at the rest of the southeast.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just going to be seeing those beautiful conditions all across the southeast. And, or at least with the exception, Florida is going to be looking very beautiful. We're going to be seeing some showers in some other areas. We're seeing some gloomier conditions, especially in Tampa or in Birmingham. So, but Nashville's looking very beautiful as well. Look at those beautiful clouds there, 79 there as well. But we are going to be seeing those hot temperatures. Really, summer is just coming around the corner, and all that red is showing that here, especially in Florida. Look at all that red. It's 88 here in Tallahassee. It's been very warm first 90 day of the year, or of the semester, of this summer, and then again, really just warm conditions all across the board. We're really seeing warm temperatures as we head into the rest of this summer and season, really, and finishing off the end of this year. We're also looking at those muggy conditions coming along with that, especially because we are going to be seeing some showers, especially up in Georgia and places like that. So like I was saying, those showers are really making their way through. We've got a lot of showers, except for Florida, sitting nice and clear in Florida, but we will be seeing those showers, especially in Louisiana and then into Alabama, Georgia, and even over in Charleston as well. And for that future radar, we're really just seeing those clouds linger here, especially in Tallahassee. We're going to see some of those clouds too, all the way through Saturday. And then it's going to eventually start to clear up, and we're going to be looking at those brighter conditions. And for New Orleans, they're also going to be seeing those brighter conditions coming through towards the end of that week. Sunday is looking really beautiful. 86 is the high, so just really inching up 1 degree every day of the week. Look at that, 83, 84, 85, 86 by Sunday. So it's just going to be great conditions as we head into the rest of this week. Same goes for Charlotte. We're looking at that to be the case. Those storms are going to clear out from Thursday, and we're going to be looking at those beautiful sunny conditions on Sunday. So it'll be a great time to be outside there as well. Cooling down just a little bit too, 75 on Sunday. And then for Fort Myers, look at that. Just rinse and repeat every day. We're seeing 91 all across the board for the highs all this week. So it's going to be just really hot. Maybe go out, take the boat out. I know I did last weekend, so just go really enjoy Fort Myers if you're in that area. It would be a great time to do so. Tonight, still sitting fairly warm, especially in NOLA. We're seeing 73, fairly warm there. Same with Miami, so just going to be warm temperatures. And obviously, the next day it's going to heat back up again, just really warm all across the board. Still seeing those showers linger around, but they're going to clear their way out towards the end of this week, and it's going to be, honestly, a great week. So tell me, how's the rest of the U.S. looking?
The rest of the U.S. is looking, well, really pleasant for the most part. We have a little bit cooler temperatures in the north, but as you start making your way more south, we're seeing more of those 70, 80 degree marks in those southern regions, with Florida really sticking out with some of those 90 degrees. Dew points, really high dew points in the south, while you can see, look at this huge contrast over by the Rockies and Denver where we have those 30. So very dry out west, well, it's very humid here. So if you are going to be out this weekend, you might need to hydrate or could see a little bit of dehydration this week, as we have some storms right here crossing Louisiana into the Alabama area. So make sure if you are going outside, you're going to want that umbrella this weekend if you are in the southeast. But here in Florida, we're not going to see those storms, unfortunately. Storm risk, we have a slight chance with those storms moving through, but more elevated risk out west, as we'll have a little bit of some stronger storms with some more rainfall. So for some of those areas that haven't really been seeing a lot of rain out west, you might get your chance to get some rain to really reduce that drought risk out west. Overall, though, just marginal risk for most of the United States, as we're really just not going to see a lot of strong storms for the most part. Might see a little bit down here in the south, but for the greater U.S., we'll see just a lot of washouts in some areas. So some areas we'll see a little bit more rain than others. Maybe by the lakes in Chicago, we'll see some rain overall. But here in Florida, we're going to miss out on most of it, as you'll see out west and all the way across the U.S., really hot temperatures overall. It feels like a dryer cycle with the fact that it just keeps heating up over and over and over again. Tonight's temperatures, we'll see 50s and 60s for most of the U.S., but here in Tallahassee, might get a little bit colder than what you might think in those 60s. Central Florida might see some 70s, but overall, looking really nice for the most part. Tomorrow's temps, we'll start seeing those 50s in those northern regions, but once again, very hot here in the southeast. So if you are going out this weekend, definitely going to want some sunscreen, as we'll see a little bit of the higher UV index compared to maybe those regions up north where they have a little bit more cloud coverage. And with a lot of the NBA playoffs and NHL hockey, it is the opposite of that for NHL. It is warm outside, so you're going to want those t-shirt and shorts if you are in the southeast. Maybe if you're in those more northern regions of the U.S., you might want that jacket overall. But looking like a great time to be outside this week here in the southeast. Ryan, what are some great things to do this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend close to home, or all week this week, we've got beautiful, beautiful conditions going on. Taking a look outside the Sportsplex, plenty of sunshine. Same goes for Doak, EOAS, and if you're going to head over to Res as well, we've got great conditions for you. Be out on the water, enjoy your time out, maybe be out at the beach, St. Mark's Light, or Shell Point Beach rather, looking absolutely gorgeous right now. Almost getting to 90 degrees today, 88 degrees, mostly sunny. We've got a little bit of a light breeze to help you out, but take a look at that water. It's just the sun is glistening, the birds are flying. It's a beautiful day to be out at the beach. And again, taking a look over at the Res, it's also 88 degrees. We've got a little bit more of a breeze, 13 miles per hour. But if you're out boating or just enjoying your time with friends, it's absolutely gorgeous out. Where it's not gorgeous so much comes in the pollen report. So we've got some tree and grass pollen to keep an eye on. I've been taking my allergy meds every morning because it's just been almost a constant of having to sneeze, cough, whatever it is. But at least if you're allergic to ragweed, it's on the low side. If you're flying out of Tallahassee today, we've got no delays. If we take a look at the rest of the country, mostly for the most part, we're all seeing no delays. Denver's the only one where we've got a few delays, but across the board, we've got good flying weather for most of the U.S. going on right now. Head out the door tomorrow. It's going to get warm again, 86 degrees under partly cloudy skies and a light breeze about 8 miles per hour. Maybe you're taking your dog out for the morning walk. It's going to be a little bit of a cool start. We've got, maybe a jacket or something to start off the morning. But then as we get into the early afternoon, that's when we're going to start to warm up. 71 degrees by 9 a.m. and then 80 degrees under cloudy skies for 11 a.m. If your hair is longer than mine and has a little bit of a frizz to it, you'll see dew points in the mid-60s, so maybe a little bit of an added curl come in. Maybe you can go without the hair gel for a few minutes or a few days with the dew points coming back to almost summer-like conditions. And speaking of summer-like conditions, take a look at this. We've got near 90 by Friday, and then into the weekend our temperatures get into the 90s with maybe a slight chance for showers and storms coming through on Sunday. But overall, it's almost going to feel like summer is here. And at least for us college students, Chris, summer's almost here, right? We're almost to that home stretch, right?
Yeah, that's right. And maybe if you find yourself in a position where maybe you don't have too many finals, you want to get your summer kick-started a little bit early, hop on I-10 just a few hours to the west, and you might find yourself in Pensacola, Florida. And we're just seeing those really beautiful conditions. We're seeing our temperatures at 76 degrees. We do have a slight breeze, so it might help you a little bit, but still just gorgeous weather. I mean, across the board. 76 here over in Pensacola, 82 in Crestview, so it's a little bit warmer when you go further inland, but just gorgeous weather. However, in some other parts, just a little bit to the north, we do have a couple of scattered showers and storms, and even over here into parts of Alabama and even into Mississippi over there near Hattiesburg. You can be seeing some of those heavier storms, but over in Pensacola, beautiful weather. And for our almanac, we're pretty much right on our average in terms of our high temperature, little bit above average though for that low. So really still great temperatures that we're experiencing here in the area. And if as you go to plan on your day, it's gonna be, pretty mild in the morning, 68 degrees. It will steadily warm up into the upper 70s throughout the day, painting that picture-perfect beach day. However, we do have some clouds that are going to be rolling into the area throughout the day on Thursday, but the good news is those clouds will begin to clear out by Thursday night. But for your weekend forecast, if you do find yourself maybe you want to start that summer break a little bit earlier, you can expect those very nice temperatures in the lower 80s, but check this out, we're going to be warming really into the weekend here. I mean, by Sunday we'll be getting to 85 degrees, and our lows are going to be in the upper 60s, so really just perfect beach weather. I know, I'm a little jealous that I'm not at the beach right now. I'm still going to be here in Tallahassee for a couple more days, but definitely make sure to get out there and just enjoy all of that beautiful weather over in Pensacola. But now we're going to kind of switch gears. Maybe if you can't make it to Pensacola this weekend, what are some other things you could be doing here in Tallahassee?
Well, if you are down here in Tallahassee, I definitely would say that you want to be out there enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been having here. If you look behind you, can see it go. There's some nice clouds. Coverage out there. Look at this.
You're fired.
88 degrees. That is really warm for my liking. So it's going to be a great time to get outside, but you're definitely going to want to remember to put on your sunscreen and to be drinking your water because you do not want to be dehydrated. You want to make sure you're having fun out there in the sun with that beautiful, beautiful weather that we're seeing out there. And if we look at our temperatures across the board, it is just warm. That is really the story here. Earlier up in Valdosta, it was 91 degrees, already seeing those 90s. So it has cooled down ever so slightly, but not really. 89 is still really warm to be out there and for it to be April. We're still in spring and it is this warm. And it's pretty much the same story everywhere that we look. So Tallahassee, 88. You're a little bit luckier if you're down near the coast. So Apalachicola, you're looking at 79. Still pretty warm, but by the beach it's going to be a little bit cooler because of that water, and you're getting that sea breeze coming in, so hopefully that's helping you get a little bit of relief from this warm weather. On the radar, we can see there's not too much going on. We're getting into that time of year where you are going to start seeing those afternoon showers, so we can see that a bit to our north. So kind of right here along the Florida-Georgia border and more to our north, we're really seeing a few pop-up showers just here and there across. But right here in Tallahassee, it is clear and gorgeous, just a few clouds around the area, and that kind of continues from Tallahassee southward, not really looking at anything along the coast, just some beautiful weather to get out there and enjoy the beach if you're able to go do that. And we're seeing that same story continue for the most part, so just a little bit of cloud coverage. Last week we were seeing really no clouds. It was just blue skies all around. This week it's a little bit different, so we are seeing those clouds, especially now that it's warming up a little bit. That kind of helps to make those clouds as that air is rising. It's what happens when it gets warm, so we're seeing that more. And to our north, we saw it earlier, we're going to have a few storms and showers come through, but once again in Tallahassee, just looking cloudy, so it's really just good time to get out there. Clouds help maybe a little bit with that warmth, but at night you're not getting too much help from that. It is not cooling down that much. Last week we were seeing that it was dropping a good bit, but after this weekend we really saw that those temperatures are staying pretty warm. So we're right around that 65 mark, like plus or minus depending on where you are, and cloudy throughout the entire region. And heading into tomorrow, you are just seeing that same story that we saw today. Look at all these 80s pretty much across the board. So you're just going to be really warm. Once again, like I was talking about earlier, a little bit cooler if you're near the coast. So Apalachicola only getting up to 77 tomorrow. But the rest of us more inland, we're not so lucky. It is just warm out there. There's really not much more to say than that. So 87 is our warm spot over here in Madison and Valdosta. But we're not getting too much cooler depending on where you are throughout. And for the week ahead, we're pretty much seeing that same story. It's just warm. It is getting warm. Summer is knocking on our door, and it's knocking hard. Look at this. 93. That is way too warm if you ask me for this time of year, but you might have to look out for a few showers and some clouds, but just lots of warmth to enjoy. But this is unfortunately my last Wednesday show. I had the privilege of doing the Wednesday show almost every week here at FSU Weather, and this is coming to an end, and I've been led by the lovely Oceana through it all. So it's been a pleasure to work with her. I owe a lot of my growth to her, so she's gonna hand it off now.
Jordan has been seriously a Wednesday warrior, and I have seen so much growth with her this year, and she's also a dear friend, so thank you, Jordan. I am student meteorologist Oceana Hayden, and I have been the producer for the Wednesday show, and it has been such a privilege to be on FSU Weather every week. Aside from doing the show, I've learned so much from everyone that is involved, and it has been a complete blessing to be able to produce this show for you all every Wednesday night at 6. So unfortunately, my time has come to an end, and we have
I don't care.
True. One way to start. Literally.
we wish it was 4.